So before we dive into cross-border investing, I wanted to talk about whether or not real estate is actually the right vehicle for you. So I want to set up a couple different expectations. This business is nothing passive in the very beginning. It is actually quite challenging because if you really think about the entire journey, you have to kind of figure out your financing situation. You have to source the right deal for you. You have to close on the property. There's a lot of coordination in the very beginning. And then after that, if you choose a property that has a bit of value-added approach, you have to do the GC yourself, like project management for that property, improve the value a little bit. And then after that, placing the tenants, selecting the right tenants, but basically have the tenants living in your rental properties. Over time, we all heard about some horror story about, you gotta be dealing with a lot of like the daily operation stuff. So I want to set a right expectation. This entire business is nothing passive in the very beginning until you really get good at the entire process. And that's the point where you can also set out a bit of SOP so that it becomes a systematic way for you to grow this business. And also another thing is I want to share a bit of my personal experience, how we got into real estate, why we're pivoting to the States, and also like how is the real estate impacting our life right now, so that you can kind of see whether or not this is the pathway that you want to kind of go after. So first thing first, I want to kind of like take the moment and appreciate my parents for all the groundwork that they built for me. So I came from a very fortunate position. So in 2010, my mom actually sat me down while I was in university. She put 20 on my notebook. She said, hey, while you're completing your engineering degree, which is really important for you to finish because you started, Asian parents, they really care about that. You got to finish the engineering degree, but also you need to get into real estate and build a portfolio of at least like 20 rooms before you graduate. So it's that kind of a pressure that really got me into real estate. It was really because my parents started building that real estate portfolio back in Taiwan when they're in their late 20s. They started building a portfolio without knowing a lot of things. So they went through a lot of different like up and downs, try to figure things out. But they knew that because they started early at the age of 50, that was the main reason why they can exit their small business and then actually retire and move the entire family to Canada. So both my brother and I can have a different choices in life simply because they build up their portfolio that generate decent amount of cash flow, and then over time you appreciate. So there's a lot of access to their equity to do other things. She wanted me to do the exact same thing, and that's how everything started. So from 2010 to 2014, like really it's nothing passive about this business. It's just a lot of groundwork, finding the right deals, do a bit of value add to each property, finding out what actually makes sense to me in terms of numbers, in terms of the workload. It's just about balancing everything. Honestly, it's tough, and I never actually enjoy or appreciated that process until like I started really understanding how this is impacting my life. Over the course of 5 years until like 2015, I managed to actually acquire 4 properties with 28 rooms in total. Every single property has a bit of value add, but what I also end up learning is that, after having these 4 properties, knowing how real estate works, I actually only stayed in my full-time job for 1 year. And after that 1 year, I'm just like, this is not for me. I want to dive into real estate. And I had that choice. And that was really the moment where I realized that real estate can be super powerful. This isn't a get rich quick method, but it's a get rich guarantee method. Every single property that how I'm looking at it is like, it's kind of like a saving account, but the saving account doesn't just keep the money. Because of a bit of value, I was able to kind of manufacture additional 30 to 50K per property. And if I don't take it, there's a bit of cash flow coming in here. And also tenants are paying down their mortgage. So over time, the spread of the equity gets bigger and bigger. And that's really what a lot of people don't see in any other asset class. It's just like real estate, once you spend hours setting it up, it becomes a self-functioning machine. And then if you do that to the next one, to the next one, to the next one, all of a sudden you have like 4 or 5 kind of like small business generating small cash flow for you every single month. And that's really how the entire momentum of the portfolio really started picking up. So it does take time. I want to be very upfront with you. It's not something that you can get in here 3 to 6 months and your life will be completely changed. It's going to take a couple years for you to do it, depending on your resource and dedication into this business model. And I'm going to be very upfront with you. A lot of people take years to even get started with this journey. So if you ask a lot of like experienced investors what they actually regret the most experienced real estate investors will probably tell you that they didn't actually get started early enough. And this is one thing I'm noticing. A lot of people around my circle or, old friends who actually didn't end up getting into real estate, the biggest difference is just that machine never gets built, and it takes them a very long time for them to realize that, okay, now I'm kind of running out of time. I need to have a backup plan. So again, it does take a little bit of effort to get things started, but once you get started, pick up a bit of momentum, this is where you can see a pretty big impact. And that's why I'm super passionate about helping other people get into real estate, because real estate really has a huge impact on my life and obviously the trajectory of my career development. And again, credit all goes back to my parents, but I want to be able to do the exact same thing. And if you feel like my story and my message will resonate with you, keep watching. There's going to be a lot of good information that I want you to go over to kind of understand exactly how real estate investing works.